Welcome to another edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
I'm Sarah.
And on today's episode, we'll be discussing the reasons why people take vacations, top places to go vacationing at, vacation destinations that will fit your budget, as well as the breakdown from Sarah's recent vacation. So get comfortable, press play, and get ready for an all-new episode right here on the It's All Relative podcast. So how you been, Sarah?
I've been good. Trying to catch up on sleep, getting everything, back into my routine. So,
Yes.
as usual.
Have you? How are you feeling? You comfortable now? This is the second episode now where where you have taken a bigger role.
Yeah,
And whatnot.
for sure. I mean, it kind of helps because I had been on a few episodes beforehand, so
Yes.
it kind of already was just,
Awesome.
kind of normal.
And so, how's the feedback been so far from the first episode that you've done or that we did?
Yeah, I really liked how it came out, and from what you told me, the numbers look really, really good. So, I hope that we keep it up.
Absolutely. Let's keep it rolling. Before we get into today's episode, though, I do want to touch on that it is National Autism Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yes.
Do you know anyone who is autistic or?
I don't.
No?
Nobody who is, no.
Okay.
No, nothing like it.
All right. Well, in a 2021 study, it showed that 1 in 44 children in the U.S. were diagnosed with autism.
Yes.
And boys being 4 times more likely than girls.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I also don't have any close immediate family, that suffers from autism.
Right.
But I do know people who have children or, significant others and whatnot who do. It's very challenging. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It takes patience for sure.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? But
it's very unpredictable. I was reading how no two persons' autisms are alike, so it's very difficult to figure out what works and what doesn't. So.
Right. Every day is new and different. Every situation is going to be handled and reacted different. My wife works with autistic children as well, and I've heard different stories and whatnot.
Yeah. Yep.
Some of them are very extreme. You know what I'm saying? And others are more on the humorous side.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah, at times. But then, I feel like their highs are very highs, and then their lows are lows. Their aggressive are aggressive.
Right.
It's definitely one extreme to another.
Absolutely. Let me ask you: have you heard about, or do you know who Cristiano Ronaldo is?
I do not.
Okay. He is a phenomenal, probably one of the best soccer players in the world.
Sorry. Yes, I do. I apologize. Okay. Yes, I've definitely seen his face before, but I don't know too much about him.
Okay, so since you've seen his face, do you agree? I mean, you may not, but he's pretty much on the pedestal of being one of the best looking men, not to be weird or anything.
Right.
But that's what, I mean, facts are facts.
Absolutely.
He's a good looking dude.
Yes.
He's actually the highest paid soccer player in the game.
Yes.
Okay. His net worth as of 2022 was around roughly 500 mil.
All right.
Which is crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. Unfortunately, I heard about this story, right? And it's not so much of a positive story.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
But there's a Twitter video, okay, that surfaced, and it kind of shows Cristiano Ronaldo and his team. I guess they had just played a soccer game and whatnot, right? And they lost. So they're walking, in or back into the tunnel and whatnot, and fans are gated off, but they're there.
Right.
And the video shows like Ronaldo's hand just kind of up and then with like a downward motion towards the ground, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's it was weird, but when you look at it, you see that what he was actually doing was he smacked a phone out of somebody's hand.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, and the phone then bounces off the floor.
But was it like relatively close to his face? I mean, even if you didn't see it right away, I assume it wasn't.
Right.
Really...
That was my first concern too when I heard this story, because I thought like, well, maybe
someone was being rude.
Maybe
like, right in
yeah,
his
maybe
face,
the fan had their phone right in front of him and whatnot, and not giving him his space. But no, it was actually literally like not far. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in his personal space.
Right. It was a respectful
right
space. Yeah. Well,
it turns out that the phone that was broken was a child's phone. Okay.
Oh.
And he was 14 years old.
Uh-huh.
His name was Jake Harding. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Cristiano Ronaldo smacked this phone out of this 14-year-old child's hand.
Oh man.
Yeah, and there were pictures that surfaced of the kid's hand that showed that it was red and it was bruised, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and this was also Jake's first time being at a soccer game, right? The whole reason why I'm mentioning this in the story is because it turns out that this child is autistic.
Oh,
okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah. His mother, Sarah Kelly, said, quote, he didn't really digest what was happening when it happened, which is understandable.
Right.
Ronaldo had mentioned on his, I guess, some of his social media and whatnot that he said that it's never easy to deal with emotions in difficult moments, okay, which...
Because they lost.
Right, which, I mean, I do agree with that statement.
Yes.
It's just how it's placed, or
right.
It's, You
could have said that last.
Right. But he apologized, and he invited Jake to another game to watch. So that was kind of his apology to this whole situation.
I mean, $500 million. Did he buy him a new fucking phone?
Good question.
That's what I want to know.
I sure hope so. Actually,
you better,
because that would be pretty fucked up.
I would imagine if it was an iPhone, especially, definitely cracked.
Hell yeah.
Shattered, if that.
Hell yeah.
So.
Actually, you know what? That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. So hopefully, man, that kid.
Are you gonna tell me what he's worth and then not tell me if he buys him a new phone?
So, what do you agree with the apology and everything? You think Ronaldo's handling this correctly, or?
I think I don't really know enough about him to know if that's him being genuine or him just kind of doing what he thinks should be done, what he thinks is right. Mm-hmm. But I think if he's a genuine person, and I really hope he bought him a new phone. Like, I'm like actually,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Very curious about this.
And that's what I'm saying too, because I mean, basically, it's just a verbal apology.
Like, I gotta see like maybe a picture with some thumbs ups from them. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got to do something.
More context.
Because the relationship between this child and Ronaldo is not a good one, and I'm sure the kid's mother too. I'm sure.
Yeah, she's probably just not happy about any of it. I wonder if she. Do we know if he actually went to the other game that he got the tickets for?
I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. I would not foresee him wanting to go.
Yeah.
Right. So,
like, buy him his phone and be on your way.
Yeah, it's not a good look for Ronaldo.
No.
Especially,
I mean, whether the fan was autistic or not in general, but just
absolutely, it's pretty shitty to smack a phone out of a child's hand. I understand being competitive, and emotions running super high. And
absolutely.
Especially if it's an important game and you just lost, like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
You definitely got to control some of that anger, bro. Like, not a good look, especially, like I said, being National Autism Awareness Month.
Yeah.
But I guess real quick we can end it. Let's just remind everyone to
Just be nice.
Exactly. Be patient and be kind. You never know what somebody else is going through, and
Right.
you don't want to catch somebody on a bad day.
Yeah, you don't want someone to catch you on a bad day on video doing something.
Exactly. Exactly. Like our world is getting crazier and crazier, or angrier and angrier.
Yeah. Yep. And more sensitive at that.
Right.
Which I think is kind of causing the anger that is unnecessary, because people are sensitive.
Yes. Did you hear about, or are you familiar with, did you see anything about the New York City or the Brooklyn subway shooting?
So I saw a few things, and I believe that they do have him in custody, correct?
They do.
Yes.
They do. I was just saying that it's just a fucking crazy world.
I forgot the numbers about, how many rounds he fired off and all that, but yeah.
He luckily didn't kill anybody. I believe, 16 to 20 something.
Too many
that were injured or went to the hospital. But that just goes to just show, like I said, how our world is just on a continual downward spiral.
Absolutely.
And our topic for today is perfect.
Yeah.
For the world, because I feel like everybody, we all need a break, right?
Yes.
From whatever it is. Life is getting pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
We need time to relax. You need time to be able to put your feet up,
Mm-hmm.
Vacations are calling to everyone.
Yeah. And I think one thing that's important about vacations, like, you don't have to be doing something all the time. You can just be chilling somewhere, whether it's the hotel room or whoever's house you're staying at, wherever you are. You can just be relaxing. Like, that's a part of it.
It's a huge part of it. That's what a vacation is. It's not so much, I feel like sometimes people get it twisted and think it's all about the location.
Yeah.
But really, nah, bro. It's about being able just to relax and not do shit.
The people who you're with, and if you're like, some places are going to be a little more welcoming than others, but you kind of got to travel and find out.
Absolutely.
A little bit.
Absolutely. So let me ask you then, if you had to pick then, are you more of if any of these apply, because maybe you're neither of these.
Right.
But are you more of a mountains, wilderness kind of person, or are you more of like beach, bikini, and babes kind of person? Or for you, I'm sorry.
I can go back and forth between the two. I like to be on a beach, but I also like to hike the mountains, all that good stuff as well. So, like, if my friends say to me, "Hey, you want to go to a cabin in the woods and just chill for a weekend?" Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let's
awesome.
get food and go.
Good times. It's funny because I'm very similar too. When people ask me that question, I bounce back and forth all the time because I like both vibes, and I enjoy both settings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't really like when it comes to mountains and wilderness and whatnot. I don't like. I'm not really down with the bugs and like some animals and whatnot. But
it's all right. It's how you learn.
But you recently went on vacation.
I did, yes.
Okay, so talk to us, talk to the fans, convince me, okay?
All right.
Because now I'll let you tell everyone where you went. But for me, I'm not nothing against it. It's just not a place that I know too much about. All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
because of that, it's not somewhere that.
To be fair, I still don't either. I just know where we went and what we did was absolutely awesome. So I can just kind of go on about that.
Awesome. Actually, absolutely. Break it down for us.
Alrighty. So first of all, I want to say that the person that we stayed with was a big part of just the greatness of the trip, which her name is Pam, and she's a longtime family friend of me and my cousin Angela.
Shout out Pam.
Yes, we love Pam. So Angela lives down in Long Island, so she drove up to my house April 5th, and spent the night, and then April 6th we flew out to Tennessee to go see Pam. Pam lived in New York up until about 3 years ago, and she said, I had enough and got out. She's a smart woman.
That's funny. Yeah.
She's a real smart woman.
I'm gonna say more and more people are doing that, which maybe it's not a coincidence. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's definitely not a coincidence.
How long was that flight?
About 2.5 hours.
Damn, that's nothing.
2.5. I think like at most like at one point you might have said like 2 hours 43 minutes, something like that. Nothing crazy. And we also made really good time. Like we had minor delays, like 20 minutes, half an hour. From takeoff both times when we took off from New York and took off from Tennessee. But in the air, he made up for the time, and we still landed at our expected arrival.
Nice.
So that was pretty good. So the flights went well. I have to tell Angela to watch this because Angela would probably not agree. She didn't love flying, but I was just like, she has a picture of me actually sleeping on the plane. She was like, I don't understand how people sleep on planes. And I'm just like, listen, if it goes down, I'm not going to be able to do anything anyways. So, I mean, yeah, life vest and all that, and the oxygen, but what is that going to do once? No, I won't get into that. So, so we got there, and the first day we just settled in. We had some drinks, smoked a little bit, went to grab food, and we just kind of relaxed for the rest of the night. It was the first day there, tired from traveling.
Now, where at in Tennessee?
And caught up. So she is about 45 minutes from downtown Nashville.
Okay.
So right outside of there. And yeah, so day 2, we just head to what Pam called the tourist mall, and it just had a whole bunch of like touristy stores and like also like normal stores as well, Forever 21, name brand stores, stuff like that.
How big was this place?
It was definitely built different than the malls that we have here. It was much bigger for sure, and more eclectic stores and leather stores, stuff like that.
Interesting.
More food options. Yeah. And they also had a moonshine store in there.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So we got free tasting.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So I have a picture of all the flavors here, and I'll just list them off here. There is chocolate silk, butter cake, orange cream, straight, sweet tea, peach, strawberry shortcake, lemon lime, apple pie, cinnamon, coffee, vodka, and salted caramel.
Damn. Which one did you have?
So I believe we tried 3, and I know we did the coffee. I think we did the sweet tea and the lemon lime we actually did.
Which one was the best?
Definitely the coffee.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So
that
was fun.
That's pretty cool. Go to Tennessee and go to the mall, and you're able to...
Yeah, get a moonshine tasting. It'll be fun. Make sure you have your ID, though. You know, they take it right away. So that's a big thing down there is make sure you have your ID on you.
That's actually a quite good...
some places are lax about it, so...
Yeah, I was just thinking...
Not there, though.
More along the lines of a business scheme, man. Get everyone drunk, and then they'll go and buy shit. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And then third day, we headed down to downtown Nashville. We didn't go at night because the ladies I was with said that they just would not be able to do that nightlife down there and be able to keep up with it. And I said, all right. So they took me during the day. We went and had lunch and drinks. And while we're sitting there, there's all these party buses going by, people pedaling on party buses, the regular big stacked ones that you see. And that was a lot of fun just to see people, bridesmaids, wedding parties, stuff like that, groomsmen just going by. It was just a lot of fun to sit there in the restaurant because that's when we were seeing them in the windows waiting for our food.
Right.
And all the food that we had there was awesome. Whatever Pam cooked, whenever we went to the restaurants, it was all just great.
I was going to ask you, what was the best thing that you ate in Tennessee while you were there?
Probably in downtown Nashville, and I forgot what the restaurant's name was, but it was this tomato soup and grilled cheese, but it was just differently made from the regular, it's not Campbell's, all right? And this isn't your mom's grilled cheese. It's delicious.
That's awesome. I did see that Tennessee is well known for their hot fried chicken. Did you have any chicken down there?
Did I have any? I don't think I did.
I
don't think I exclusively had any chicken to really attest to that theory. But I'm sure that there is, honestly. I don't doubt it at all.
What about, I saw that, I mean, you mentioned moonshine, but I did see that whiskey's a big thing down in Tennessee. Did you have any whiskey?
So, well, there's a story to that, actually, that I have for you.
Yeah, lay it on us.
Well, we have to kind of wait.
Okay.
That's not yet. That's just not yet.
Okay.
So, yeah, in downtown, we ended up going to a couple of bars. One was a rooftop bar called the Redneck Riviera. That was a whole lot of fun. They had a couple of people upstairs with guitars singing, taking song requests. So that was a nice vibe. I really enjoyed that.
You said Redneck Riviera?
The Redneck Riviera, yes.
Oh, that's an interesting name.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, and then we walked around to shop for souvenirs. I got a couple of things for my brother and his girlfriend, and then we eventually grabbed some dinner on the way home, and we went in for the night. Day 4, there was like this pop-up shop. It wasn't like a flea market, but
Similar?
Yeah, kind of. It was just a random thing that was like directly like in her town, not far off. And it just had like, little shops. It had a couple of barns that had people set up, like kind of like a flea market style.
Cool.
And yeah, and that was also the night where we decided to go back to Pam's, have a couple of drinks, and started to play Cards Against Humanity. And that is always a good time.
Yeah.
So we played that. Me, Angela, Pam, and Pam's son, Michael, played that. So
nice. That is a wild game.
I love that game.
Get wild.
And I am awesome at that game. I won it with 21 of the black cards.
Did you?
So,
Nice.
And then day 5, 6, and 7, we actually went down to Chattanooga, Tennessee, which was, I think, probably my favorite part of the whole trip. And that was when we went and saw Ruby Falls and Rock City. So Ruby Falls is this cave that is underground. And in order to get there, you go into an elevator that is cut right from the cave. Okay, you walk in, and to your right, it's a gift shop. You go through the gift shop, and there's a door in the back of it. Walk through, give them your ticket, you scan, you go into the elevator with a couple of other groups. The groups that they were bringing through the caves were actually pretty big for the one tour guide that you had. And we also kind of overheard that a couple of their other tour guides called into work. So, but hey, they still got the tour done quickly, efficiently. So props to them because it was still done really, really well. And we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, actually. That sounds like a good time to be able to go. I mean, not something that you'd normally do, but to be even the way that you were explaining it, like you walking into a cave, you know what I'm saying? And then there's the gift shop and like a elevator, like that shit's normal.
So the gift shop isn't actually in the cave. The gift shop is before that. So it's like a building that you walk into first, and then the gift shop, and then you walk through, and it's still like a normal hallway, and then you go into the elevator. This is all where they scan your ticket and stuff. It's just like regular. And then you go into the elevator, which is cut right from the cave.
That's crazy.
It's kind of a little hard to describe, but as soon as those elevator doors close, they're glass, and the second you start going down, you see rocks.
Okay.
So it's right out of the cave. You go all the way down, and for the life of me, I couldn't remember how far down you go, but I'm pretty sure that she said our original elevation is measured in kilometers.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, fuck if you. Okay, so we're just gonna say numbers. So I think she said we started at like, I don't know, 250, 300, somewhere in there. But by the time we got like halfway through the tour, we were down like 1,100 feet or something like that. So the cave goes down pretty deep. So elevator goes down, you walk out, and boom, you're in the cave. So, and as soon as you start walking, you see all of these formations, and it's not like in the movies, they're not all colored, but they do have some certain spots lit up because there's also a whole story about how the caves were founded.
Nice.
And you can actually, I'm sure that the story is online actually if you look up Ruby Falls. But it's about a guy, basically his name's Leo, and he crawled and wasn't able to stand up for 6 hours through the cave, and then finally he broke through, and there was an opening gap about 6 feet tall, and he could finally kind of stand up. And it just kind of goes from there as far as constructing what it is now.
Real quick, let me give you a quick side note. And and for our fans or listeners and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
it's maybe a little weird, but you want to know one of my biggest fears ever is,
boy.
well, first off, I'm very claustrophobic, but one of my biggest fears would be to be, like you were just saying, like in a cave or in a tight spot like that and not being able to stand up or anything. I would panic.
Oh, yeah. Not being able to stand up. That I don't know if I would. I guess after 6 hours, I'd probably panic. In the beginning, I'd be like, all right. But then it's like once your back starts aching and you're like, oh, I can't really look anywhere besides down. This isn't fun. Yeah, I'd probably start to lose my shit, too.
Yeah, not a good time.
I would lose it now that you mention it. But yeah, so you walk all the way through, and like I said, certain spots are lit up. They have all these formations that they've named, as well as just natural ones around you. You look around. I have so many pictures and videos, and every single time I watch them, I notice something new about the cave.
Awesome.
So it's really crazy, and it is a moving tour, so you don't really have a chance to stop and take pictures. Sometimes you can kind of catch one, but a big thing is having the group stay together, obviously, because you're in a freaking cave.
Right.
And if you get lost, that's not good. So.
You ever seen The Descent?
No.
Oh my God. You need to find this movie because you talking all this cave shit. Like, this is what I think of. And like for our listeners who have seen this movie too, it's crazy. It's about caves and whatnot. And some of the crazy shit that's in caves.
Yeah.
So I recommend that movie though, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've got, like you said, just the caves. It's cool. I don't know. And like, we all made jokes about like, oh, well, what if it just collapses? Like, that would fucking suck. But yeah, so you walk all the way through, and some of them are lit up, and they have ones that are named, there's a formation named Steak and Potatoes. There's one named Elephant's Foot, Dragon's Foot. There's the Crystal Chandelier, which is so beautiful. And by the way, I do plan to make an Instagram post finally of my trip from Tennessee. So I will post some of these if you decide to go. You want a preview, go look on my Instagram. We'll tag it at the end.
Awesome.
So it was just really pretty. And then finally you get to where said Ruby Falls is, and you walk in, and it's basically essentially they light it up with a whole colored light show. So you walk in, it's completely dark. And, it takes a minute to come on. You walk in there, and there's a railing, and you sit there, and I have a video of it, and it goes from completely dark to just white, and you just see the falls coming down. And it's not man-made. It's natural falls that was in there underneath the cave. And it is so beautiful with the lights, and then you look above you and the cave's formation, the shape of it. It's incredible.
Breathtaking, right?
Yes, literally. And it's not like a quick tour, like you're in there for a good hour or so.
That's awesome.
So it's definitely worth it. And I don't quite remember what the cost was, but I do know that it wasn't ridiculous, and it was entirely just...
It was worth it?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
120%.
Awesome. Was that your favorite place that you visited while being on?
It's a big toss up between Ruby Falls and then Rock City. So Rock City is literally city of rocks.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's a small little city that, there's gnomes all over it. It's inhabited by gnomes. That's their city. And it's a rock city. And that's literally what it is. There is just beautiful flowers everywhere. You kind of got to look around for them. Like I said, there's gnomes everywhere. There's this old rickety bridge that you can either choose to go on or not. Of course, we did. And it's just wooden. It's suspended bridge all the way across, and it's old, shaken, and it's like the wood. It's like some of them are like older, and you can see, okay, they've been there for a minute. And some of them you can tell are like, brand new 2x4s that are there because they're light, they're not down yet. And it's like, all right.
Step on those ones.
Yeah. But the views at Rock City were incredible. And at one point in there's a plaque, and it says, you can see 7 states from this point. And when you look up, the view is so, I'll just say it like magnificent.
Magnificent?
Yes. I'm not even going to try to say it again.
I got you.
And Yeah, it was just insane to when the sky just keeps going on, it's crazy.
That's wild.
And there was another waterfall there as well, too.
What were do you know the states that you could see? You said 7, but...
You know what? I could probably find out for you in just a minute because, like I said, I have all these videos because, again, at Rock City, there was just so much to see that a lot of the videos were easier than taking pictures.
Right. And while you're looking that up, we can remind people, I mean, we'll shout it out at the end, but for all the fans and whatnot, definitely look up Sarah's Instagram and you'll be able to see all these videos from her vacation.
Yeah, definitely. My Instagram only allows you to post so many at a time, but I can also put some on my story as well. But yeah, but I guess, it's a good thing. If you go on my Instagram, at least you heard the podcast. I was going to say, but you have to listen to the podcast. But if you're here, then good. All right, so the 7 states flag court stands as a lasting tribute to each of these states: Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes.
So let me then ask you real quick, because, I mean, this may be just a stereotype kind of thing, or, I mean, I'm assuming it's pretty much truth, but... Tennessee is known for country music, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I would say, I guess so.
Yeah, I was just curious about that because I wanted to know if that was really true. If it was like wherever you go down there, it's country music all day.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right. Are you familiar? Have you ever heard? I don't know exactly where in location this was to where you were at, but are you familiar? Have you ever heard of the Graceland Mansion in Tennessee?
I feel like it was mentioned, but we definitely didn't go to it, and I don't know where it is to relation to where we are. Okay. Where we were.
That was Elvis Presley's house.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And the dope thing about that I had learned was that inside of the house, nothing has been changed since he's passed. In 1977, really? So all that shit that's in there.
That's crazy.
It was him. Like he left it there.
Did they like go and at least preserve some stuff so that way it didn't? Because naturally it'll just
that I don't know.
Or they probably just left it, I guess.
But I thought that was really cool, and I did see that that's a big I guess tourist attraction in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I can see why, obviously.
Definitely.
But on a scale from 1 to 10, let me Tennessee being a good place to go vacation at?
Absolutely. Between just the stuff that I did alone, my experience in Chattanooga and then downtown Nashville, I would give it a 9.
A 9?
A 9, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to mention about your vacation?
So like I said, we spent 2 nights in Chattanooga, left the 3rd day that morning. And that 2nd night there, I made friends at the hotel bar. And essentially, so I wake up and I'm like, okay, we have to check out by 11. So I had been up all night. Sure. I had a good time at the hotel bar, but I woke up hungover and just not well. I was very unwell. So, and I knew it when we were on our way back to Pam's house. And from Chattanooga, that was like just under 2 hours, I think, hour and a half. We were stopping at the Jack Daniel's Distillery to do the tour there.
Ugh.
So, fun fact, the distillery is actually in a dry county, so there's only so much that you are allowed to drink there, and
really?
There was a testing. My hungover ass did not taste test any of it. I had already I think I had actually tried 3 out of the 6 that were there already, or were there 7? 6. There were 6. Okay. But that whole experience was super, super cool. They take you in, show you where they make the charcoal, and then they show you eventually, the charcoal being used and the 140 proof moonshine that's dripping through the charcoal to turn into whatever that's to turn into. And, walking through the distillery just with the smell of alcohol flooding all of your senses while you're hungover. It's what I get. It's what I get for making friends at the hotel bar. And then, when one of those friends says, do you want a shot? And you say, yeah, I'll have a shot.
One always leads to two.
Yeah. But you know what? It was a lot of fun, so I don't regret it.
Good, yeah. Memories, right?
Abso-freaking-lutely. I got one of the girls' Instagram. Shout out, Allison.
Ah, that's awesome. Well, let me ask you real quick then. Did you throw up at all?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course I did.
That's awesome.
Of course I did. It's the only reason why I was hungover.
Okay.
Honestly.
Can you think of give me like the best place that you've ever been on vacation in your life that you can think of? It doesn't even have to be a place, really, like you had mentioned. It could be just a more like a event or a day trip or whatever, or weekend trip, but somewhere something that stands out to you.
I have a lot of those because my cousin Angela, the same one who I went to Tennessee with, we had a lot of those. There was one where we had gone down to Long Island for the day, and we had gone to the beach, collected some shells,
Awesome.
done that. Lots of trips to Lake Taconic or whatever, however it's pronounced. I know it's like Tagh, some weird
Taconic.
fucking spelling.
Yep, you're good. Just spelt weird, spelt weird, but pronounced
the same
Taconic.
as So stuff like that. When I was a kid, we used to go to Lake George a lot. So I remember like the one hotel we'd always stay in, and that beach. I always remember making like, when you're a kid, you make friends with like that one kid who's also staying there at the same time as you, and then you part ways and you never see him again. It's like shit.
Yeah, we'll mention some of that later on. I got some stuff about that.
Oh, awesome.
But let's take a quick break.
All
right, and when we come back, we will hit top places to vacation at, as well as places that fit your budget and great local gems in our area. So make sure you come back with us right here on the It's All Relative podcast.
Shit's the same now, explode next mode. I'm the same how. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you see me sliding off to another crib, boom, in the game now. I'm the same how. The rap game will never be the same now. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you hear YO, say that's that shit.
Welcome back to It's All Relative. So, Sarah, let's talk about some of the most popular places people vacation at.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
We could, I guess, there is a list because I did see, according to Newsweek, that there was 20 top spots that people vacation at in America. But
see, I just kind of went off the top of my head. So
that's
I'm wondering how many of them are.
That's actually perfect, because I was going to ask and say, maybe we should go off the top of our heads or what we feel like would be some of the top, places and whatnot. So that actually works out perfect that you had done that. But let me then let's hit this list first. All right.
Yep.
And then we'll see if any of these places may match up with what you were thinking. Let's go from 20 to 1, okay? So we'll save 1 for the last. But all right. So number 20 is Austin, Texas. Okay. 19's Washington, D.C. 18's Miami Beach, Florida. Then Asheville, North Carolina. Branson, Missouri. Which are you familiar at all with Missouri at all?
No, not at all.
Have you ever seen the movie She's Out of My League?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, they talk in this movie. They talk about like their family vacation goes to Branson, and so I thought it was cool because I actually never even really knew that it was a real place. And when I saw that it was on the top 20 best places to go, it sparked my interest. But 15 is Chicago, 14 is Orlando, Florida, then Charleston, South Carolina, Sedona, Arizona, Nashville, Tennessee. Number 10 is Kauai, Hawaii, then Savannah, Georgia, San Diego, Island of Hawaii, Oahu or Hawaii. And then number 5 is Key West, Florida. 4 is New Orleans. 3 is Vegas. 2 is Maui, Hawaii. Do you want to take a guess at what number 1 is? And remember, this is just a list according to Newsweek. So,
did you say Vegas already?
yes, that was number
Shit.
3.
What was number 2?
Maui, Hawaii. I hope.
I have no idea what the
correctly.
first one would be.
It's crazy, but number 1, New York City.
Oh man, see, I have all right. So in my list here, I literally have popular vacations. This is pretty much off the top of my head. I have Disney World and Universal, Aruba, Florida, the Grand Canyon, Vegas, New Orleans. I just had Florida as a whole. Washington D.C., Hawaii, New York City, and there was also a lot about the Finger Lakes. So
That was a good list off the top of your head. Have you, from this list or the list off the top of your head, have you been to any of these places?
So I've been to Florida, nowhere like significant or super specific. My best friend and I went last year for just like a little getaway. We pretty much laid on the beach for 3 or 4 days.
Awesome.
Yeah, always good. So, and I actually went to the Grand Canyon when I was younger. I have family out there. Shout out to Uncle Glenn, everyone out there, my cousins, Colby,
Nice.
and Grayson. And my mom put me and my brother on a plane. I was like 5 or 6. My brother was 11 or 12. And we went out there and saw the Grand Canyon. I have been to Washington, D.C. in 8th grade. That was our class trip. And New York City, of course. I mean,
Right.
come on.
Right. All right. So you've hit actually quite a few of these spots. Yeah, I too. I actually lived in Orlando, Florida. So it was pretty much that Disneyland or World or whatever it is. It was pretty much like my backyard, somewhat. So it was crazy though too, because on days off from work, everybody down there has passes or season passes and whatnot, and people, and on a day off you could go to any one of these places just because because you can on a Tuesday.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Imagine just like, so my big thing, and it's funny, you have a little M&M thing sitting over here. In New York City is the M&M world. I always loved it there. It's one of my favorite spots ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, well, New York City's huge. It's, everybody, I feel like, in the world knows or has heard about New York City, and many people.
I want to go during Christmas time. So does everybody else. Okay.
Yeah, the city has a different feel around Christmas time.
The decorations, just the vibe, absolutely.
It's always nice.
I hope that isn't lost among whatever is happening in society today, but especially there, especially with, the shooting that just happened.
Yeah. No, I
Keep
think
Christmas happy.
Yeah, I think
Keep
they'll
it full of cheer.
it'll keep
Good.
doing its thing. Let's see what else on this list. The places that I've been to, I haven't been to too many on this list. Do you have out of the ones that were mentioned, are there any that you would want to go?
I would love to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any part? there
I'm
were a few-
not.
there
I was
were-
about to say like few specifications. I'm not too familiar with any of them,
Mhm.
so I think I would have to do research. But from everything that I've seen or heard about Hawaii, there's really no bad location to go to.
Good call.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely like bad spots, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
As far as vacation spots go.
Yeah. I would always be interested. I would want to check out Arizona. I always feel and hear good things about that place, as well as San Diego. For those of you who know me, I've talked about it before. I feel like San Diego is the one spot in the entire country that has the perfect weather year round.
Probably, but the only issues with that is California. So like, do with that what you will, but.
Right.
But Arizona, definitely. Arizona, my grandmother, my Oma, is also out in Arizona. And she's been wanting to get us out there for a while, so I think I might have to persuade my brother to take a trip out there.
Really, you've also been lucky though too, because to be able to go and see the Grand Canyon, that's something that I would definitely be down to do.
I was super young. I remember like certain snippets, but I would love to definitely go back again.
Right.
You know, but yeah, definitely grateful that I was able to see it at such a young age, because I know I appreciated it then, because I've always been into like rocks and being outside and hiking, nature. So definitely.
I have a similar story that kind of goes along with that, because I went on a dream vacation that, I mean, some would definitely say it was a dream vacation. But when it happened, I was so young that I wasn't able to fully experience everything, and I had an excellent time, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I know, like, if I was able to do it again, being older,
you'd be able to appreciate it and love it even more.
Different. Yeah, it was crazy though, because similar to what you had said, like, my grandmother, my father's mother, excuse me, she took my sister and I she lived in New Jersey, so I remember flying from New York to Orlando, Florida, or somewhere in Florida, and we went on a cruise down to the Bahamas.
Nice.
And it was the cruise ship alone. Being on a cruise is an experience in itself. It's something amazing. That shit is fun.
Yeah, I may have the opportunity actually to go on a cruise sometime not this coming summer, next summer, because one of my mom's boyfriend's family members is getting married. So as long as it doesn't collide with another trip that I have planned, I'm going to go. So fingers crossed that it's not.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would always say or recommend that if anyone has a chance to experience that, it's something fun.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But the cruise ship alone was dope as shit. But we ended up getting to the Bahamas, and it's a long story short. I was super young, right? I think I was probably like in 8th grade. So I don't even know how old you are.
So you're like 13, 14.
So yeah, and my sister is 2 years younger than I am. So it was just her and I, and like she had ended up becoming friends with some kid who's
a guy. Definitely a boy.
Yeah.
Because you said some kid.
some kid, but like his ma, kind of like, we were young, so really, I don't really know, but I mean, you can put 2 and 2 together, I guess. But this kid's ma ended up linking up with the actual, like, or getting close with the captain or someone that was up there. So when we got to the Bahamas, there, have you ever heard of the Atlantis?
Yes.
Yes. It was one of the most amazing things and places I've ever been. I remember walking into that place, and like the only reason why, like we didn't have to pay for anything, which was crazy. We just walked in with the kid's ma and whatever, and I don't know, somehow like we had access to what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
somehow you were just walking in.
Yeah, being able to go on like some of those water slides and the pools and the beaches right there in the ocean, that was beautiful.
Oh yeah,
you know. So
I can only imagine.
But like I said, once again, you know, I was super young.
Yeah.
So
yep. So
it would be a completely different trip if I had the chance to do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes.
But yeah. Let's see. Vacations can be expensive though, right?
Absolutely.
The ones that we had listed, or even these top 20 most popular places, I mean, it all still is going to cost money.
Right.
Plane tickets, food, the events or activities, wherever you go, you know what I'm saying? So let's try to go a little cheaper. All right. I did get another list from bankrate.com. Okay.
All right.
And for one person, right, the average price to go on vacation, I guess, is $1,500 to $2,000. Okay, which is pricey as shit, right?
Yeah, I don't even think that's valid.
For a family, it's $5,000 and up. All right. And I mean, depending, I mean, you know, if you travel and have a family or whatnot, or I mean, even a solo person, like if you had to buy a plane ticket, let's just say if you went somewhere outside or farther away than Tennessee.
Right.
And then everything, it would be a little more, but yeah, $1,500 to $2,000, a little expensive, but you know,
I'm thinking like even within the U.S., it's like,
well,
that's a lot.
Give me a ballpark figure on like how much how much money do you think that you had gone through or took on your vacation?
So the thing with me is I didn't have to pay for a hotel or housing or anything because we stayed at Pam's house, so that was an immediate advantage.
Very true.
Yeah, and food, a lot of it was made at home, and a lot of it is Pam's generosity and not allowing us to swipe our cards. So it's not really a fair thing for me to be able to, not even with that trip, but
cheap ass vacation.
So, but when I went last year with my best friend, so we went from New York to Florida, we flew, and it wasn't, between the two of us, it probably wasn't even $1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I said, I mean,
and we stayed at an Airbnb with that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so what about the people who don't want to spend or can't afford that much on vacations? All right. Where are the top places people can go or do things, you know what I'm saying, that are cheaper? This list that I have, I wish they could define cheaper a little bit because, once again, the cost to actually get to the places still plays a major role.
Right, and it's all about research too. You gotta
But let me run down this list real quick, because some of these places have been mentioned already, and like I said, they're very spread out. So I guess if you lived in the location or whatnot, that's close.
Depends on your starting point.
Right, they would be, I guess, more affordable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, but. We'll go to 20 or backwards again, 20 to 1. So 20, it starts out at Beaufort, South Carolina. Okay. Some of these places I actually haven't even heard of, that being one of them.
Yeah,
But the next is Knoxville, Tennessee.
All right.
Then Salt Lake City, Utah. Mm-hmm. Then Flagstaff, Arizona.
I've heard of that one.
Then Augusta, Maine. And then at 15, we have the Finger Lakes in upstate New York. And then Albuquerque, New Mexico. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. San Antonio. Portland, Oregon. At number 10 is Athens, Georgia. Then Williamsburg, Virginia. Then Nags Head, North Carolina, OBX, which... shout out real quick there. I've been there. Been fortunate enough to go vacation there.
Yeah, my boss
3
goes
times.
there, and he said it's awesome.
I love it. It's beautiful. But next is Colorado Springs, then Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. You heard of that one?
I have.
Okay.
Yep.
At number 5 is Sequoia National Park, which is in California.
Ugh.
Number 4, you got major beef with Cali, don't you?
Because it's just falling apart.
Number 4 is St. Augustine, Florida. 3 is the Olympic National Park in Washington State. 2 is Glacier National Park in Montana. And number 1 is the Grand Canyon in Arizona.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I wrote down is national parks and visiting popular towns are your best bet. And like I had just mentioned, staying in Airbnbs, I find can be a lot cheaper than hotels. And in that case, it's just stocking up your fridge for whatever you need for the days you're going to be there. Mm-hmm. And then you can roam whatever city you're in, and it's awesome. You know, either roam or, if you're able to drive there, a couple miles drive. You know, it's all about placement and plan. You got to plan. If you're looking for cheap, you're going to have to plan and know what you're going to do. So that way you can manage your money.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to remember, too, like the whole purpose that we had said of vacation is to relax, relieve stress.
Yep.
not worry about work and everyday life. So, like we had said, not so much the location, but just being able to find somewhere nice where you can just
Camping.
relax. Exactly.
Camping is your friend.
Yeah. So let's hit a few ideas of some vacation spots or ideas that are affordable to pretty much everybody, right? You just said camping.
Yep.
Camping is pretty much, I mean, what you have a tent, you got to buy a tent and like food.
I mean, if you don't already have the tent and and earlier we were talking about it, if you have an SUV or a larger vehicle where the seats go down in the back, and there you go, put a bunch of blankets back there, you sleep in your car, and renting, sometimes you do have to rent camp spots, but sometimes you can find places where you can park for free, and nice little spots, locations, whatever. And you find some friends that want to go with you. Yeah, like you said, go buy some food, and there you go.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, like campsites, campgrounds. Have you ever been camping or been
yeah, weekend camping? Yeah, I've been. My friend has a cabin that we've gone up to, like real cabin. Like there's no plumbing, there's no water. It's an outhouse outside. There's no AC.
Oh shit!
Yeah, bunk beds. It's a fun time. It's a lot of fun. It is.
That doesn't sound.
Josh said, "Absolutely fucking not."
Well, like we had talked about before too. I mean,
bugs.
Oh yeah,
bugs.
Fucking hate bugs, and I prefer running water. And not having to go outside to go to the bathroom. I prefer not to. It's a little easier for me, I guess.
Yeah, right? The hell?
What else could be a cheap idea for people to enjoy or be able to vacation? I think
national parks.
Very good, absolutely. I was going to say that. That's a super great idea. You know what I'm saying? People enjoy to be outdoors in nature.
Yeah. I skimmed through a couple lists myself, and it was just like every other one was national park, national park, national park. So, it's... you're paying basically for them to open like their little, where they sell food and their little tourist items and stuff like that. And from there, you just enjoy nature.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
I think it's good for also to encourage people to appreciate that more, as opposed to always needing like a big city and like over the top events. Like go in, just chill.
I agree. Some one-on-one time with. I mean, it's a different vibe out in nature. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes sometimes that peace and quiet, you can connect. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes
gives you a chance to think without the background noise of life, and you're like, okay.
Absolutely. Everything slows down, and you see that, some things really are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Another idea that I had seen or that was mentioned was that people could actually tour their own local city.
Yeah.
And people sometimes may forget about it because it's so close to home. But a lot of local places and whatnot have many art galleries, historical sites, restaurants, museums, etc. But I mean, all places that, you may never have gone to check out or even thought about.
Right. Maybe you heard about them, but didn't really inquire, stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that could always be it. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, day trips are fun too, by the way. It doesn't always have to be like a full-blown vacation. Even a day sometimes is all you need to kind of reset. And because I know towards like an end of a vacation, like especially for me, like you got animals at home and you're like, oh, okay, I'm ready to be home. You get to a certain point. So sometimes it's nice to just take a day as opposed to a whole vacation,
I'm not going to lie. That's probably the hardest thing for me for when I go away is missing my dogs. Dog,
Yes.
So that always sucks.
It is. It's like, oh, I hope they understand I'm coming back. I promise.
Yeah, luckily I'm always lucky when we go away. We have she's always in good hands. So
yes. Always got the good care.
Yeah. Another idea which is definitely cheap or cheaper, and something that is fun or memorable, would be RV trips. But you would also have to have or own an RV. You could rent an RV, but I mean, it's still right. Being able to drive and have access to go, I don't know, to anywhere. You can
pretty
go to
much, yeah.
some of these campsites, campgrounds,
And I mean, you see more and more people are starting to live out of like the vans, the renovated buses, and stuff like that. And honestly, that seems like an awesome lifestyle. Like if I was able to do that, I think that I would probably give that a go.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to people who are doing that because that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's funny that we're talking about this because I was just having a conversation with one of my buddies, and he had mentioned that basically that when he retires, that's kind of what he wants to do. Just him and his wife, they would get in an RV and go and peep out every state in the country. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And he had a good idea too, spend, because states are pretty big, right? And you don't just want to go to one spot, so you spend like a month like at each. In different parts.
Live all around the country
to go see that, and that would be, that is a really cool idea. Like I said, though, a lot cheaper if you had access to an RV.
Correct. Yeah, and that's a whole process in of itself, and you got to keep in mind the maintenance of the vehicle and just getting down the routine of doing that, and just different RVs, different functions, different everything. So it's.
Yeah. Have you ever been on an RV?
So I've been on my friend's RV before, but never like lived in one or done a trip in one or anything like that.
Cool. It's pretty much like a house, right? Yeah. Or a small little apartment.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. She moved the section out. I don't know exactly what it's called. Mm-hmm. But those things are pretty fucking awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I've never been on one while driving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same. Yep.
And I've never slept in one either. That's my one big issue when it comes to being away or going on vacation, or even like we had mentioned, camping and whatnot, because there's no way I'm sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
I miss my bed everywhere. So that's the one
camping
problem.
Is not for you. That's what I've learned today.
Yeah.
Josh isn't going to go camping ever.
Yeah, I have issues too, even with, I don't know, man, like hotels and everything. Like the whole experience and everything is so fun, right?
Right.
But until the time you have to go to bed, because you gotta lay down and bro, how many people laid in this bed? You know what I'm saying?
But they change the sheets and shit. But I'll tell you what, after a couple of drinks at a hotel bar, it goes real easy. You just fall right the fuck asleep. I promise. I promise.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not that it's wrong. You're just not doing it right.
That shit though just skews me out, because another thing that I want to mention real quick for people are bed and breakfast places, right?
Yeah. I've never seen it. I've seen an Airbnb, but never a bed and breakfast.
Really?
Yeah.
Super.
That's bizarre.
It's you get a warm, homey feeling, because that's pretty much what it is. It's you're in somebody else's house, and you wake up and I
feel like it's the start of a fucking horror movie.
I'm sure it's been used.
Probably, but actually thinking about it, a horror story, maybe I should say, local girl from so and so New York fucking stays at bed and breakfast in other town, and
sounds like a movie already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never actually stayed in a bed and breakfast either. But once again, when it comes to the time,
Airbnbs are cheap.
Yeah, but when it comes time to go to sleep, that's when I have my issue.
That's when you notice it.
Can you think of any other ideas or options?
There's a whole bunch of websites as far as flights go that kind of pinpoint the cheapest ones for you. One that I found or heard about was Kayak for cheap flights. And you can go on, it'll literally show you, the green boxes are where the cheap flights are, what days. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of plan your trip around that, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, just do your research. Don't jump on whatever first option you see, and just plan ahead. But
Good
yeah,
advice.
I don't think I really have any other
Would
ideas.
you ever take, or do you have any urge to take a vacation or a trip outside of the country at any point?
I would love to go to Ireland.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, Ireland is definitely on my bucket list, and everybody who I've spoke to or heard of that has gone there has said that it's absolutely beautiful and they love it. So that's definitely a spot I want to go to.
Why Ireland?
Well, I am Irish,
Okay.
but also like even beforehand, when people were talking about vacation spots, I was constantly hearing Ireland and the structures there, the history. I just think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Anywhere else?
I mean, there's a couple other places. I guess if I were to like start like scrolling through as bad as it sounds, TikTok or just other social medias, like definitely other places. I'm actually going to New Orleans at the end of this year with my friend and another friend, Anna. My friend Alyssa and Anna.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we're going there, and we have a couple of weekend trips planned too throughout the summer. So, yeah.
Do you know when is Mardi Gras time in New Orleans? Do you know?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure.
That's gonna be around the time you go.
Oh boy.
That's awesome. But let's give some of our local listeners a few ideas or places that are excellent spots to be able to go and take cheap vacations to or even weekend trips. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There are quite a few. I know that we can start out with a place that I have grown up going to. I enjoy, but upstate in the Adirondacks, there are so many places up there that are just are beautiful. One very popular place. I know you had mentioned it. I don't remember if it was on mic or not, but Lake George.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Super popular.
Yeah, no, I grew up going there. So yeah, I had mentioned that earlier. Yep. I used to go there to vacation in the summer.
Yeah, Jody and I were just there I think 2 summers ago. We're up there a lot. We also there are so many beautiful spots up there. There's so many lakes. There's we vacation at a lake called Brant Lake, which is pretty close to Lake George. But there's Loon Lake. There's Scroon Lake. There's just so many up there. There's Lake Placid.
Yeah,
which
that's the big one.
Yeah, which is another very
or the most popular. I should say.
Yeah. Do you know why?
I don't.
Okay, it's where the 1980 Winter Olympics were held.
Oh, okay.
Which is super dope, super historic.
Yeah.
I've been to Lake Placid. I've been in the town and seen the Olympic spot. But when I went, I remember going and I was with my sister and my mother and father. And I was younger. But the time that we had gone, for some reason, I don't know why we were up there, but it was cold as shit.
Okay.
And I just remember walking through this town, and it was like a ghost town.
Yeah, because it was fucking cold.
But it just being able to see everything and whatnot, it was really cool. And I do wish I haven't been back there since, but I would love to be able to go and experience and see it all. Now that I'm older, I'd see it through a different lens. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'd love to go back to the Grand Canyon again for that same reason.
Another spot that's pretty close that people could go see because there's so much history to it is Albany. You know, there's a lot of things up there. It's our state capital.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
you know, there's Montauk, which is the laid back seaside town.
Yeah. I've heard of Montauk.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like beaches, people love to go. I mean, a lot of people like to vacation and go to beaches, but the most popular beaches and whatnot, those are going to be the most expensive
Exactly.
ones. And
You're gonna have more people to deal with.
Exactly. If you there are hundreds of smaller, lesser known beaches that you could go to.
Exactly.
Cheaper.
Like, think about it this way. You know, you go to a name brand store to try to buy something, and a whole other store is going to have a quote-unquote knockoff brand. It's the same damn thing, but you're just paying for the name. That's all you're doing at that point.
Absolutely.
And it's just not worth it. You know, go for the quieter area that you're going to be able to enjoy yourself more, be more at peace, not have to wonder about that jackass that keeps staring at you or the girl that gave you the dirty look. Like, fucking, you can go about your day in your own space, in your own, you know, you'll have a whole bunch of space. That's very important to me when I'm,
Let me ask you real quick on a side note, because I mean, like I told you, I lived in Florida. So there were times when, many times when I would go to the beach, which actually the closest beach to me when I was in Orlando was actually Melbourne Beach. Shout out to that beach because I missed that place. But let me ask you, because you were at a beach in Florida too. Do you feel...
I was at Daytona.
Okay, so uncomfortable, weird when you see dudes walking around in Speedos?
No, we didn't see too many either.
Okay.
But it doesn't really, it's like, you know.
Doesn't faze you?
No, because honestly, it's just kind of, if they're content, like they know people aren't like, they've got to know that's not a quote unquote normal thing. You know, like, more power to them, I guess. It's just, it's not my business, you know? Like,
No, I feel you.
If I don't like it, I'm not going to look at you. Now, if you're, like, trying to get, like, my attention, that's going to piss me off. If it's very clear that I'm not about it.
Not feeling it.
So, you know, it kind of depends. But for the most part, now, I mean, do what you want, wear what you want.
Nice.
Just don't make me a part of it if I don't want to be a part of it.
All right, so let's steer it back real quick. Another option, or a local option, would be, have you ever heard of, I'm sure you have, the Mohonk Mountain House?
Maybe.
Okay.
Possibly. Not sure.
It's in the, it's across the river.
Okay.
New Paltz area. So it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. It's like a huge, mountain house, or it's like a huge hotel kind of on the mountain.
Wow.
Overlooking the mountains.
Yeah.
And it's got you know, there's places where you can go and hike, you know, around,
different
but
trails, stuff like that.
But like being inside, it's so big. The like dining hall. Like, have you ever seen, or are you familiar with the movie The Shining?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
very familiar.
Okay, awesome. So pretty much you picture that building in The Shining, that huge hotel.
Yeah.
Picture that as
in the mountains.
as Mohonk
That's
Mountain.
dope.
Yeah, which it pretty much is. When every time I've been in there and like walking down hallways and whatnot, sometimes you get that eerie feeling of like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
And you think like
Haunted hotels. Ooh, future episode idea.
Yeah. Well, you think about too, like the movie, The Shining, in that huge hotel, right? And just a guy, his wife, and child.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary in itself.
It's scary
right?
in of itself, and then the story about the twins, and that's a good movie. That's a very good movie. That's a movie I saw at probably too young of an age, but I love that movie.
It's a classic.
It is.
Classic. But one last spot that we can mention real quick is a place called Cooperstown.
I've heard of it.
Okay,
yes.
That's not too far from where we're at right now.
No, not at all. I think my mom is very familiar with Cooperstown, actually.
Yes, it's where the Baseball Hall of Fame is located,
Yes.
which I've been to quite a few times. I've actually taken a weekend trip. What's that?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. My
No, you're
brother
good.
was actually admitted to that Hall of Fame at one point or another when he was younger.
Really? Mm-hmm. For what?
I don't quite remember what it was. It was when he was way younger, and remember, he's 6 years older than me.
Right.
So I just remember walking in there one day because my mom was super excited that he was in there.
That's dope.
I remember seeing him on a wall somewhere. I want to say I was maybe 6 or 7, so I don't really
That's pretty
remember
cool.
too much of it, but yes.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, it just clicked.
Yeah, I've actually, like I said, I've been there multiple times. One of my uncles actually lives in or had a spot when I was growing up right in Cooperstown. So, but I have taken an actual like weekend trip there and stayed like on the main strip, like in one of the hotels.
Oh, dope.
And whatnot, and then spent the days walking around the whole town and being able to see and experience everything that place had to offer.
Right.
One thing which was pretty cool was they offered like a ghost tour and whatnot, and it's where the what's that shit called? The Ghost Adventures or
Ghost Adventures. There's a whole bunch of different.
one of those shows
yeah.
they did one.
It was probably Ghost Adventures.
They filmed it in the Baseball Hall of Fame because the Baseball Hall of Fame is said to be
Yeah.
haunted.
Yep.
So, which is pretty dope. But I mean, all these things that we just listed are all local spots.
Yeah.
You know, and they're all places that, you know, you could very affordable.
Yeah.
And
easily go to.
Exactly. Places that you could spend an entire week at in some of these spots, or you could spend a weekend. And even, I mean, some of these you could just do in a day.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like day trips, like I said, are fun too. Yeah, no. And that's definitely cool. Good to know that those are local.
Yeah, so I mean, like we said, now's the time. Summer is coming or approaching very soon. Weather's been getting warmer.
Cannot wait.
Everyone's starting to get that itch, and you know, like we said, the world's getting a little crazy right now. So
take a vacation.
yeah, I think the best call for everyone right now is start planning a trip, plan that vacation, de-stress. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Take some time.
You got anything else that you wanna mention or?
No, I think I'm pretty much all good.
All right. Let's tell the fans your social media accounts where they can get at you.
All right. So my two main social medias are on Instagram, which is Sarah with 2 H's _ Molnar. That's MOLNAR, and it's 2 R's at the end there on Instagram. And my TikTok is Sarah with an H J Molnar.
Nice. And you guys could always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram. My Facebook is Joshua Toth. The message option, okay, on all our platforms, I wanted to mention real quick. If you listen to the podcast through Apple or through Spotify or even on YouTube, you can type out messages. You can leave us almost like text messages, anything that you want to say. You can give us ideas or things that you guys might want to hear of. If you wanted to ask myself a question or Sarah, you can just get at us through there.
Definitely.
The main one, though, is Anchor, which if you just typed in anchorfm.com and then typed in It's All Relative, right on the page, right in front of you is a message option. And you click that, and that's where you can leave an audio message. And if you leave us audio message, we will play that on the next episode. We will answer whatever question, if it's a question.
Definitely.
But you will hear yourself on the next episode if you leave an audio message. So
go for it, guys. We want to hear what you got to say.
Absolutely. We're waiting for fans to reach out, get at us. So quick shout out to Stellar Sound and Media and our editor, Jackson Wallace. You guys can also please find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and Google.
Yep.
Once again, if you're using Apple, Spotify or YouTube, whatever, just please leave us a thumbs up, leave us a 5-star rating.
Yep.
leave us those messages.
Yes.
Let's get
leave us those reviews. Let's do it, guys.
Yes. Literally that helps us out immensely. It helps the podcast out immensely, and we really appreciate that. So
yes, definitely.
All right, that's a wrap, Sarah.
Alrighty, awesome.
Great job. Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful, and we'll see everyone soon. Peace.
Peace out, guys.